Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News with Kim and Lisa. Last night, we got the dinner party from hell, OC version, and let's just say I was seated and here for all of it.
Once again, Shannon stormed out after Tamra threw some major accusations against her, and Alexis was there with the receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, fucking everything. But whose side are we on?
We are going to get into it all, but before we dive in, you guys know what to do. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more Bravo Breaking News.
All right, so we open back up at Heather's third home. So I'm getting a little annoyed because every opening scene in an episode has had Heather and Terry in a different home. And it's just like, okay, so we get it. Like they have a bunch of different places that they live. I think that would be really annoying to have to go from house to house. But this is at the Balboa Bay Club, and it's a suite. I don't even understand what's happening. But she's basically filling Terry in on the whole Katie paparazzi thing. This Katie person brought up the paparazzi thing. Terry embraces it all. He's like, I love having my picture taken by the paparazzi. If she has a number I can call, I'd love that number. So maybe Terry called, you never know. But she's basically saying that she's mad at Gina for allowing this to happen. So, okay, this is how Heather's going to play it. And Gina and Jen come over for brunch. And yeah, what did you think of this? Because if I were Gina and I heard someone say, oh, I know Heather called the paps, I'm not sure I'm running to Heather to tell her that. Who cares?
No, I have a lot of thoughts. First of all, the Balboa Bay Club is really annoying because at this point, it's basically Heather's only tie to Orange County. The rest of, this isn't a home. This is a hotel. Right. Let's get it right. And, we make fun of some of the Salt Lake City women for, renting houses in the city to, be on the show. That's exactly what Miss Dubrow is doing, and I take issue with it. But moving on to the matter at hand. So the whole Katie and Gina thing. I think Heather kind of has a right to be mad at Gina because I think that Gina instigated this entire thing. I think she was intentional about telling Katie to bring it up. I think she was intentional about not having Katie's back and throwing her under the fire. And I think that Katie is kind of starting to realize this. We see Katie and Shannon get together. And first of all, we have not one, but two forms of receipts in this episode. The first is Katie's little screenshot that she shows Shannon of the paparazzi guy that literally just says, yes, girl, stop showing that. It's embarrassing. That is not proof or receipt by any means whatsoever.
And it's not the smoking gun she thinks it is. That's for sure.
Oh my God, not even close. But she doubles down saying that Gina told her to say it and now she regrets it. And I really do think that Gina had this master plan. She was going to bring this friend on the show. And as somebody who brings a friend in, I think Katie kind of trusted her. She's like, okay, Gina brought me on. We're in this together. She's going to have my back. But then Gina just basically, nope, I'm loyal to Heather, not you. And I'm going to tell you to go say this to Heather so you get in trouble. And then I'm just going to back away quietly and say, I had nothing to do with this. So I kind of think that Heather has a right to be mad at Gina.
Okay, but Gina told her not to say anything. And Katie then told everyone else. And so because she told everyone else, Gina was like, okay, well, now it's out there and everyone's talking about it. And everyone knows except Heather. So at that point, I think Gina was like, you better get in front of this and tell Heather, because now it just looks like you're just talking to everyone about her. So I feel like there's I don't know. I do think she's kind of playing both sides here, but I also think she was trying to protect Katie a little bit and saying, don't bring this up. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the jury's still out. I am kind of warming up to Katie this episode just because I think she's the wheels are turning and she's starting to realize what really happened. Right. I don't know. We also get this scene with Tamra and Emily. They're on a hike And of course, Jen Pedranti gets brought up and, she's like, oh, basically, I'll give my sunglasses that I won at the golfing event to Jen because she needs them. She could use them. She doesn't have any money. She can wear them to Vegas. She's spending all this money in Vegas while she, should be back at home trying to get her shit together and earn money. And I appreciated Tamra in this moment. She kind of gives Jen some grace, basically saying, Jen, that's just not her personality. She's not like this scrappy, like I'm going to, get everything together type. And I will say, I'm sure some of you saw on Instagram, I did go to the Bravo TV Experience pop-up in LA this week. And I did get to talk to Jen and Ryan for quite a while. So, last week we spoke about them and I kind of was feeling for Jen. I was kind of like Team Jen. I was starting to feel for her. I was appreciating that Ryan was supporting her through this, and meeting them just like solidified all of that for me. I hate to say I hate it. I'll hate it if I'm wrong, but I'm Team Jen and Ryan. I got a good vibe from him. She is so sweet. I just feel like she was raised a certain way. She was raised in a wealthy family. She got married to a wealthy man. She hasn't had to have all of these responsibilities. So I don't know. Tamara's right. Is she just supposed to like sit back and like not do anything just because she's in this like financial turmoil? Like, no, I think she should still deserve to live her life. What do you think? Am I crazy?
mean, no, you're not crazy. I think she seems very sweet. And honestly, I think even a little naive at times. Like she doesn't seem like a calculating housewife. She seems very much, what you see is what you get. And I think she has a good heart. Now, I still do take issue with her not wanting to like kind of take it upon herself to learn new things and be responsible for herself. I get that she was raised a certain way. I get that she was used to having her life a certain way, but it's not that way anymore. And like at a certain point, you are responsible for yourself and your 5 kids, not this man who you're dating. And yes, Ryan does seem supportive of her. I don't know. There's still something that there's something there that is just making me a little cautious, like proceed with caution, yellow sign.
I mean, he does still have this major lawsuit surrounding the gambling issues, money. I don't know. When I subtly asked him about it, he was like, everything's good. We're doing good. Like he seemed to just brush it right off. So
okay.
But that's still there. It's still lingering.
Okay. So I think we'll get into that a little bit later in the season, and that will be interesting to kind of see what comes out of that.
Oh, for sure. I can't wait.
Okay, so then we get this point where Katie gets to kind of confront Gina about how everything went down at the golf event. And they go to lunch. She sits her down and basically says, I feel like you didn't have my back in this moment. I felt like you were encouraging me to talk to Heather. And then once I did, you totally took a step back. And not just step back, you took a step towards Heather's side and basically threw her under the bus. And she's not wrong. Gina did do that. And Gina is kind of doubling down and basically saying, like, I felt like I should have had Heather's back more. And I think Gina here is playing it smart because I think she knows at the end of the day, she wants to be on Heather's good side. And if that's at the expense of being on Katie's not so great side, I don't want to say bad side, but like not so great side, I think Gina thinks that it's worth it. And basically she's just like, look, I'm not risking it all to go up against Heather with you. Sorry, not going to do it.
Yeah, I get that. But I mean, Gina did know about this since December. So if she really cared about Heather and wasn't just trying to move a storyline along, she would have told her in the first place to be a loyal friend. But instead, she's letting it come up organically on the show and putting Katie like amidst all the drama. So I don't know. I kind of see right through Gina. I think it's like a shit stirring moment. But also, at the end of the day, this whole drama about these paparazzi photos from Disneyland, I don't really know who gives a shit if she called the paparazzi or not. Like you said, we already talked about it last season. I'm ready for them to move on as well. I think that Gina initiated this drama, but I'm ready to be done with it.
Put it to bed. Put it to bed. And I never want to see or hear about those photos again.
Please.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Someone
So,
help us.
okay. So let's move on to the real drama at hand in this episode. And it starts with Tamra and Alexis meeting. Now, this is something that years ago in early OC, we would have never seen coming. But
No.
they seem to be besties now. And I also have my own theory about that as well, about Tamra Judge and the way she's moving this season. I am not liking it, but she is buddying up to Alexis. And she's like, Alexis is fun, sweet, and kind. Like, I enjoy her. And it's like, Tamra, are you for real right now? Like, this bitch has no loyalty whatsoever. She will flip on a dime if it means that she will be the center of the storyline. But, Alexis kind of picks up by saying, oh, I'm pissed off I wasn't invited to the golf event from Katie. Well, you don't know each other. Katie knows you. Katie barely knows you. She is obviously getting close with Shannon. She said she wanted to protect Shannon. And then we get this very, very cringe moment. That was the first of many cringe moments from Alexis this episode. That who's going to be more fun? Who do you think is going to be more fun at your event? And it's like, all right, 2 seconds into that, I'm like, okay, this is too much already. And this is the first time we're seeing Alexis in the episode.
And that's exactly what I have a problem with too. If she doesn't want to perpetuate this storyline with Johnny J and Shannon drama, then stop bringing up Shannon every chance you have. Every time she's on screen, she's talking about Shannon, how she's more fun than Shannon. And, who's going to be more fun, Shannon or Lexi? So now it's Lexi. Okay, she must love a rebrand. But it's like, you're doing this. You are perpetuating this nonsense that you claim to not want to be a part of. So that's where I have a problem.
I couldn't agree more. And I have more to say because I also did meet Johnny J and Alexis this week, but let's wait for the receipts because I'll talk about it then.
Okay. Keep that in your back pocket. You've got some receipts of your own now.
I sure do.
Okay. So we go to this girls' dinner at Benny Mary's. Why don't you want to set the scene for us?
Yes. Okay. So I think I'm branding this the new dinner party from hell because honestly, it was absolute chaos. So first, we get, of course, the return of the OG of the OC, Vicky. She is there and she is having Shannon's back like a real friend should. So she is arriving with Shannon and she's ready to go up against Tamra and Alexis. And I got to say, I couldn't be more Vicky and Shannon in this moment. So, they're on their way. The other girls are already arriving. Of course, Alexis confronts Katie about not getting invited. Katie says she's Team Shannon, kind of nipped that in the bud. Then Vicky arrives, and Alexis once again inserts herself into the drama and was like, oh, look who's in my world. Because we have a flashback of Vicky saying that when Alexis arrived on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Could this be any more inaccurate? Because Alexis is a friend of, just like Vicky. This is not her world. She is not a main cast member. Her to say that is beyond insane. And I think we were all Vicky in this moment. Sit down, bitch. Sit down.
I mean, last time I checked, it was Victoria Gunvalson, not Alexis Bellino, who won the coveted and first Lifetime Legacy Award.
Lifetime Achievement Award.
Lifetime Achievement Award. Okay, that was Victoria Gunvalson. So you're in her world, honey.
I couldn't agree more. I just don't know what she was thinking saying that. Again, it's kind of like she had it in her back pocket ready to go, which is not the only thing she had in her back pocket ready to go this dinner. But we'll get there. But first, oh boy, does
So,
Shannon take a beating.
yeah. Okay. So Shannon orders a drink and immediately Tamra yells out, because that's what alcoholics should do is order drinks. And it's like, oh my God. Okay. One thing about Tamra is she's going to yell out something shocking to move the plot forward. She's like, let's get this party started. I'm just going to go for it. And basically turns the whole conversation of the table into who thinks Shannon has a drinking problem and who thinks she belongs in rehab and who thinks that she, shouldn't be drinking because she got this DUI. And it's like, I felt bad for Shannon in this moment. Like, I'm sure she's already thinking about that. And Vicky was kind of like, look, you're not driving. Like, go ahead and order a drink. She does it and just gets fucking pounced on. And so she is like, look, I wake up every day and think about what happened and think about my actions. And Tamra goes, is that right after you have a drink? Like, girl, Tamra is coming so hard for her. And I'm with Vicky, who later addresses this. Like, if you're a friend, if you ever were truly her friend, maybe you're not in this moment, but like, why would you say that? That's just so mean. What Shannon needs is people lifting her up and supporting her and not someone to just tear her down any chance she gets. But Tamra's shown us time and time again, like that's who she is.
So nasty and so rude. I did not like Tamra at this dinner whatsoever. She was going so hard on Shannon. And I just have to think this was Tamra's, like, again, like I said, I think that these wives at this point in the show are intentional about what they're doing. I think that Tamra heard about the DUI from Shannon. She goes, ding, ding, ding. Here's my storyline next season. I'm going to go after Shannon. I'm going to attack Shannon. We're going to, break up this friendship, and I'm going to berate her about how she has an alcohol problem. Because let's be real, Tamra Judge does not really have a personal storyline this season. Her storyline is Shannon's DUI, and she is going to do whatever it takes to take down Shannon, to ruin their friendship, to make her look like the bad guy, when in reality, everybody is sympathizing with Shannon and turning on Tamra for the way that she's acting. It's like, Vicky had such a great point. Gina piped in too. Like, look, it's not your, like, you can't decide whether this person has a drinking problem. And you speaking to her like this about it, it's not making things better. It's only going to make things worse. And, Vicky is like, let's stop the fighting. This is disgusting. And then, of course, Emily is like, well, you're the one fighting too. You saw Tamra's post about traitors and was like, that's the perfect show for you. And Vicky just says the funniest thing. She's like, that's what she did. She traded, like TRAITED. Like, I'm not sure that's the right use of words, but I'll let it slide for Vicky. And then it seems like Tamra had this line rehearsed. I'm not a traitor. I'm a faithful. I just decided to vote you two out. And loved it. Loved every second of it. I love the crossover. We are both big Traitors fans. But
oh, yeah.
She's like, I didn't feel comfortable moving forward with everything. Shannon needs rehab or I'm out. And it's like, girl, this is not your battle. Like, it really has nothing to do with you. So I think she needs to take a chill pill.
Yeah. Okay. Two things here. One, it still doesn't explain why she had to drop Vicky so hard. Okay. You might have a problem with Shannon. What's the problem with Vicky? I'm still not getting it. And two, I understand that Tamra has years of frustration pent up over her friendship with Shannon, right? She would get calls with Shannon being upset, crying, kind of venting to Tamra. And I'm sure it was exhausting. But you can take a step back from a friendship and not like just completely trash that person in public. Like there are a lot of steps between that you can take, instead of just going from like best friends you talk every day and she is relying on you to I'm going to drop you like a bad habit. And not only that, I'm going to kick you while you're down and do it publicly. So I don't know. I think she just went too far.
And it kind of sounds familiar to what Alexis and Johnny J are doing to Shannon, because then we get the receipts from Alexis. Why don't you break it down?
Oh my God. Okay. So it comes up, of course, that, Shannon is getting sued by John for $75,000. And she claims that it was not a loan. He gave her the money for her facelift and then for something else. Because I was like, damn, 75 grand for a facelift seems pretty pricey. But what do I know? And then I was also confused because we talk about how Shannon has said over and over that she has to pay for things when they were together and John wasn't working. But then why is he lending her money? I don't know. I don't get it. But either way, Shannon is not disputing that he gave her that money. Okay. That's not the issue here. Shannon is saying, no, that money was a gift. And John is saying that was a loan and you need to pay me back for it. So that's what the issue is. And so Alexis coming with these receipts, these wire transfer receipts, proof that John gave her this money. Okay. Shannon's not denying that.
Girl, we don't need proof of this. No one's denying it. These aren't the receipts that you thought they were. Like,
No.
it is just so she's like comes ready for them. Like, even if it wasn't even brought up, Alexis would find a way to bring it up at this dinner. And you know what? Like, this whole thing boils down to, of course, everybody's hating on Alexis and John Jansen for obvious reasons. I think that John Jansen, is a bad guy. I don't think that he is a good guy. I mean, Shannon opens up and pretty much says, he's a monster. I can't say anything because he will sue me. But first of all, I did run into them this week, like I said. John Jansen is at an official Bravo TV event, yet wants nothing to do with it, doesn't want to talk to anybody, don't take a video of me, okay, if you don't want to be in the spotlight, do not attend the event.
Right.
Do not go to the red carpet. Do not go somewhere where there's going to be media. And second of all, Alexis didn't print these wire transfers herself. John Jansen printed them and gave them to Alexis. So he is single-handedly furthering the drama, furthering the storyline, putting his name out into the public, into the reality show, furthering the storyline. And then at the same time, he's like, oh, no, I want to be private. I don't want, make it make sense. There's something wrong with this man, I think. It's not adding up. And
no, it's gross. And any man who's going to go after someone who they spent many years with and just be so, icky about it and coming after her and making sure that your name is cleared. And by putting hers in the dirt, that's not a real man. I'm sorry. I think that's gross. And Alexis keeps saying, we have to, his reputation's been demolished. That's his own fault. That was his own doing. Okay. And you guys are not making it better. You're making it worse.
You're making it worse. It's not Alexis's job to clean it up, but I guess it is coming back, on Bravo with him as her man. So I don't know. She feels the need to defend him. I get that. But you can't say, oh, one day, I want peace and I want to become friends with Shannon. And then pull out this piece of paper defending your man. Pick a lane, girl. Pick a lane. Don't pretend like you want to be friends with Shannon. Just be her enemy and just be upfront about it. I'm here for the drama that Alexis is bringing, but it's just not really coming off as it's coming off as a little try hard.
That's right. And I was glad that Emily called her out on that. She's like, you can't say that you want to be friends with Shannon and then the next second pull out these receipts that you have. That's not how this works. And no one's buying that.
No one is buying it. And of course, we have Vicky preaching at the end. We are women of faith. We can't treat each other like this. Meanwhile, cue Emily in the confessional. Let's flash back to Vicky treating other women like this. And so, of course, it is very hypocritical for Vicky to say that, but it did make for such an iconic moment. And I just love the Vicky-isms and her kind of holier than thou attitude when obviously she is not innocent at all. I
No,
love it.
she's not. She's not. But Vicky was the best part of this episode. I got to be honest. And I love that. I don't know. She's just kind of popping in and out, and like we're getting small doses, and it's leaving me wanting more. But I'm with her. I don't like when these ladies get so nasty with each other. I like when they are having petty disagreements and then they can move forward. But like right now, it seems it's getting too dark. It's getting too dirty. And I don't like it. That's not what I enjoy watching. So I don't know. I need them to come together when they're all like getting along and having fun. I actually think it makes for a better show. And so I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority there because it's not as much drama, but like they still find their drama. It's just fun drama. This is not fun for me right now.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying, though. I did think that this dinner brought it at literally every level. Every player was getting into the mix and giving their opinion. And I did love it. I don't like to see Shannon crying in a corner, but she is strong. She will come back from this. And I think she will rise from the ashes throughout the season. So we will see. You know, I'm interested to see more of Vicky. I am interested to see more of Alexis. I wonder if she will bring more of, you know, her own shit, or if it's just going to be Johnny J defense mode the whole season. We'll see. But we will be back next week to cover more Real Housewives of Orange County. So make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss any more recaps and Bravo breaking news to come.
Bye, everyone. See you next time.